8 lawsuits, 3 different patent holders, 3 different courts, and BYD, the Chinese EV maker that sold 5.5 million cars last year, is losing on every single front. Right now, BYD faces the most coordinated patent attack in automotive history. Sole IP filed in Munich, IP bridge filed in Munich, Sole IP escalated to Mannheim. Sole IP went nuclear in the Hague Unified Patent Court. And a third unnamed patent holder just joined the fight. This isn't random, this is a pattern, the same legal strategy that forced Daimler, Ford, and Volkswagen to surrender. Same playbook, same courts, same outcome. Welcome to Patent Wars, where tech law, billion-dollar bets, and corporate warfare collide. And nothing is ever as simple as it looks. Let me show you exactly how Europe's patent system became a weapon against the world's fastest growing EV maker. Before we go further, you need to understand what BYD is. This is not some struggling startup. BYD sold 5.5 million vehicles in 2024. That's more than Tesla, more than BMW. And in Europe, BYD was winning while everyone else was losing. Reuters reported in May 2025 that Tesla's European sales had been cut in half. The entire EV market grew by 30%. But Tesla's share plummeted from 1.3% of the European market to 0.7%. Tesla was shrinking in a growing market. BYD took that market share. BYD's European expansion was working until 3 patent holders decided to stop it. And here's the uncomfortable truth. This isn't conspiracy. This is patent law. Standard essential patents. FRAND licensing, German courts, all operating exactly as designed. The system is the weapon. So what are these patents? And why does a car company need permission to use wireless technology? Every modern car has 4G or 5G connectivity. Navigation, streaming, emergency calls, over-the-air updates. That connectivity requires standard essential patents. Patents that cover how phones and cars talk to cell towers. Those patents are owned by dozens of companies: Ericsson, Nokia, Qualcomm, Samsung, Huawei, and hundreds more. For automakers, licensing all of them individually would be impossible. That's where Avanci comes in. But to understand why BYD is facing 8 lawsuits right now, we need to follow the money. And we need to understand the one decision BYD made that changed everything. Avanci launched in 2016 with a simple promise. Pay us once. Get licensed by everyone. No litigation, no complexity. Just $20 per vehicle for 4G, later $32 for 5G. The $20 covers tens of thousands of standard essential patents from 49 different patent owners. Ericsson, Nokia, Qualcomm, IP Bridge, Sol, IP, Huawei. All of them. One payment, lifetime license, per vehicle. By 2025, Avanci had licensed 42 automotive brands: BMW, Mercedes, Ford, Volkswagen, General Motors, Lucid, Volvo, 130 million vehicles. The entire industry accepted the deal, except 2 companies, Tesla and BYD. I've linked the court documents in the description. Sol IP filed 2 patent infringement complaints against Chinese automaker BYD with the Munich 5 Regional Court. Case numbers 7/01597/25 and 7/01583/25. Both complaints were filed on February 7th, 2025. So what exactly are Sol IP and IP Bridge suing over? 2 specific 4G technologies. Patent EP2575281, carrier aggregation in wireless communication systems. That's how your car can use multiple frequency bands at once for faster connectivity. Patent EP2624516, method and apparatus for transmitting ACK/NAC. That's how your car confirms it received data correctly. ACK means acknowledgement. NAC means no acknowledgement. Error handling. These aren't obscure edge cases. These are fundamental building blocks of 4G connectivity. Every connected car uses them. Every modern phone uses them. They're unavoidable. That's why they're called standard essential patents. And that's the trap. You cannot make a 4G device without using these technologies. The standard requires them, which means you must get a license, which means refusal isn't really an option. BYD thought it was. February 7th, 2025. Sol IP files 2 complaints in Munich. The 7th Civil Chamber. Presiding Judge Dr. Oliver Schoen. The same judge who has ruled on dozens of patent cases against automakers. The Munich Regional Court is known as a rocket docket for patent cases. Trials can be scheduled within months. Sometimes judges rule from the bench the same day. No waiting. No appeals before enforcement. Sol IP wasn't asking for an injunction yet. Just damages. Just a declaration that BYD infringed. But here's the critical detail. In German proceedings, you can amend your complaint at any stage to request an injunction, even on appeal. That flexibility is a weapon. File for damages, prove infringement, then upgrade to an injunction whenever you want. The threat is always there, and BYD knew what was coming. Because this exact strategy had worked before. Ford settled. Daimler settled. They all settled. March 11th, 2025. IP Bridge files 2 more lawsuits. Same court, same judge, different patents. IP Bridge is a Japanese licensing firm, one of Avanci's most aggressive licensors. They own thousands of patents originally from Panasonic and other Japanese electronics giants. Patent EP2294737. Control channel signaling for triggering independent transmission of channel quality indicators. This patent had been battle tested. It survived invalidity challenges. It defeated Daimler. It defeated Ford. Both settled shortly after IP Bridge asserted it. IP Bridge wasn't starting from scratch. They had a proven weapon, and they knew BYD would face the same choice everyone else faced. Settle or face an injunction. April the 2nd. Both Sol IP and IP Bridge amend their complaints. Now they're seeking injunctions. Not just damages, injunctions. Sales bans. The trap was closing. Let's pause and recognize the pattern. This is not the first time Avanci licensors have sued an automaker. Nokia sued Daimler in 2019. Daimler fought, Daimler lost, Daimler paid, Ford got sued in 2022. Ford took an Avanci license 3 days after losing in Munich. Volkswagen settled, GM settled, Volvo settled. Lucid settled before shipping a single car. Same patents, same court, same outcome. Check. Here's the contrast nobody mentions. Patent owners and Avanci licensors can afford to litigate forever. They have billions. They have legal teams on retainer. They can file in Munich, Mannheim, The Hague, and London simultaneously. Automakers, they're optimized for manufacturing, not patent warfare. Legal fees in Germany can reach millions per case, and if you lose, the injunction hits immediately. No car sold means no revenue. Factory shutdowns, layoffs. Today, BYD is in the same position Ford was, same position Daimler was, and Avanci's win rate against holdout automakers is 100%. Same pattern, different defendant. So why didn't BYD just pay the $20? Why fight? There's a Chinese perspective you need to understand. In December 2024, China Automotive Information Technology released a report. They analyzed Avanci's fees and concluded the fair rate for 4G patents in China should be 7.13 to 1636 yuan per vehicle. That's roughly $1 to $230. Avanci charges $20, 10 times higher. 2 Chinese automotive industry associations actively discouraged Chinese automakers from taking Avanci licenses. They argued the rates violated FRAND principles, fair, reasonable, non-discriminatory. They said Chinese companies should negotiate bilateral deals. BYD listened, BYD refused, and now BYD is learning what happens when you say no to a patent pool backed by the world's largest wireless patent holders. Meanwhile, at least one unnamed Chinese automaker quietly took an Avanci license. No lawsuits, no drama, just $20 per car and peace. May 2025. Sol IP makes the most aggressive move yet. They file in the Unified Patent Court, The Hague Local Division, case number 252553/2025. The UPC is new. It launched in 2023. It's a single court that can issue injunctions covering 17 European countries simultaneously. Germany, France, Italy, Netherlands, Sweden, Austria, all of them. One case, one injunction, multi-country ban. In national German courts, Sol IP could only ban sales in Germany. In the UPC, Sol IP is requesting remedies across all UPC member states. and Spain. Even though Spain isn't in the UPC, this is long-arm jurisdiction. Sol IP is targeting BYD's Dutch subsidiary as the anchor defendant. Under a 2025 European Court of Justice ruling, that's enough to get jurisdiction over BYD's entire European operation. Presiding Judge Edgar Brinkman, Judge Margot Kocher, both from The Hague, both experienced in CEPI cases, both known for patent holder-friendly rulings. The nuclear option was now in play. June 2025, Sol IP files a second UPC case, case number 2583/2025, patent EP2525515, carrier aggregation again, different patent, same technology. Also in June, rumors surfaced of a third SEP holder suing BYD, unnamed, unconfirmed. But the pattern was clear. Patent holders were coordinating. BYD was now facing at least 8 lawsuits from at least 3 different patent holders in at least 3 different courts. Munich, Mannheim, The Hague, with more likely coming. The likelihood of BYD winning all 8 cases? Extremely low. These patents had been validated repeatedly. German courts grant injunctions if infringement is proven, and BYD's cars undeniably use 4G connectivity. You'll find the full analysis in the description. BYD is now facing at least 8 lawsuits from at least 3 different SEP holders in at least 3 different courts. The likelihood of BYD being able to fend off all of those SEP assertions is extremely low. Same pattern. Intensifying pressure. Checkmate approaching. Here's how the trap works. The trick is simple. Step 1. Create a patent pool. Convince 49 patent owners to join. Convince 42 automakers to license. Make it look inevitable. Step 2. Set the price at $20 per car. Not per patent. Per car. Lifetime license. Sounds reasonable compared to bilateral deals with 49 separate companies. Step 3. Wait for holdouts. Tesla, BYD, companies that think they can negotiate better terms, companies that think the price is too high. Step 4. Seek the licensors on them. Sol IP, IP Bridge, others. Not Avanci directly. Avanci stays clean. The licensors do the suing. Step 5. File in Germany. The rocket docket, where injunctions are granted routinely, where trials happen fast, where patent owners win. Step 6. Escalate. Add injunction requests. File in multiple venues. UPC for multi-country bans. Mannheim for speed. Munich for precedent. Step 7. Wait. The automaker has 3 choices. Pay the $20, pay millions in legal fees, and maybe lose anyway. Or stop selling in Europe. This is not a bug. This is the design. BYD's only real defense is FRAND. Fair, reasonable, and non-discriminatory. Standard essential patent owners are supposed to offer licenses on FRAND terms to anyone who wants them. But who decides what's fair? Who decides what's reasonable? German judges. Judges who have consistently ruled that Avanci's rates are FRAND compliant. Here's the elite versus everyone else breakdown. Patent holders set the price. Courts validate the price. Automakers either pay or face injunctions. If you refuse, you're the one violating FRAND by not accepting a willing license. The system flips the burden. BYD has to prove Avanci's rate is unreasonable. Not that Avanci has to prove it's reasonable. And proving something is unreasonable when 42 other brands already agreed, nearly impossible. Meanwhile, Sol IP and IP Bridge have unlimited litigation budgets. BYD is spending millions defending 8 cases. And BYD still has to manufacture cars, pay workers, and hit quarterly targets. The patent holders can afford to wait. BYD cannot. And here's where Tesla enters the story. Tesla is also refusing to take an Avanci license. Tesla is fighting in UK courts. Tesla lost 2 rounds. Tesla is now appealing to the UK Supreme Court. A long shot. Tesla's European sales collapsed. Reuters reported in May 2025 that Tesla's market share was cut in half, from 1.3% to 0.7%. The EV market grew 30%. Tesla shrank. 2 reasons. First, Chinese competition, BYD. Second, European backlash against Elon Musk's political activities. You can see Tesla cars in Europe with stickers that say, quote, "I bought this car before Elon Musk." BYD took that market share. BYD was winning until the patent lawsuits. Now here's the strategic question. Do BYD and Tesla have aligned interests, or will one throw the other under the bus? If BYD takes a license, Tesla stands alone, and Tesla could face the same coordinated assault. If Tesla wins its UK appeal, BYD might benefit. But if BYD gets banned from Germany, Tesla benefits from reduced competition. The only two holdouts, same fight. Opposite incentives. What makes this dangerous today is that BYD is still selling cars in Europe. Every car sold is another count of infringement. Every sale increases the damages. And the injunctions are coming. Right now, BYD's legal team is defending 8 active cases. More are likely. The timeline for German patent cases? 6 to 12 months. Trials in Munich could happen in late 2025. Rulings in early 2026. Within a year, BYD will likely be hit with multiple injunctions. Maybe just Germany. Maybe all 17 UPC countries. Either way, BYD cannot manufacture and ship cars to a market where sales are banned. I've left all sources in the description. These new filings, especially the one in the UPC, up the pressure on BYD to negotiate bilateral licenses from dozens of SEP holders or to take an Avanci one-stop shop license. BYD is growing rapidly in Europe, and a multi-country sales ban could prove highly disruptive. And here's the calculation. BYD's European expansion is worth billions. Walking away means handing the market back to Tesla, Volkswagen, and BMW. Staying means either paying Avanci or fighting indefinitely. BYD is running out of time. Let's do the math. BYD sold 5.8 million cars globally in 2024. Let's say 10% of those were in Europe. That's 550,000 cars. At $20 per car for an Avanci 4G license, that's $11 million per year. 11 million. That's the cost to avoid all of this. But there's a bigger principle at stake. If BYD pays, they validate Avanci's pricing model. Every future Chinese automaker will face the same demand. $20. No negotiation. Take it or get sued. China wants its automakers to succeed globally. But global success means playing by Western patent rules. And those rules are enforced in German courts by patent holder friendly judges with injunctions as the penalty for refusal. BYD's choice isn't really about $20 per car. It's about whether Chinese companies can challenge Western patent licensing norms. And so far the answer is no. Every automaker that tried to fight lost. Daimler lost. Ford lost. Now BYD is losing. The patent holds. And here's the uncomfortable truth. This system works for patent holders. Sole IP will collect from BYD eventually, either through licensing or damages. IP Bridge will collect. The third unnamed patent holder will collect. Avanci will add another automaker to its 42 brand portfolio. And the precedent will be reinforced. You cannot hold out. You cannot negotiate. You pay or you leave. For ordinary people, for consumers, this means you're paying for patent licensing in every connected car you buy. That $20 gets passed down. Higher car prices, less competition, fewer choices. BYD was offering affordable EVs, quality cars at lower prices than Tesla. That competitive pressure was good for buyers, but if BYD gets banned, prices go back up. Tesla wins without improving. Patent holders win, consumers lose, and you cannot escape it, because every car needs connectivity. Every car uses these standards, and these standards are controlled by a small number of patent holders who coordinate through pools like Avanci. Right now, BYD has 3 options. Pay the $20 and lose face in China. Keep fighting and risk billion-dollar injunctions. Or exit Europe and hand the market back to competitors. All 3 options hurt BYD. That's the design. So what should you take from this? First, understand that patent pools are not optional. They look optional. Avanci says licensing is, quote, just an option. But when every alternative is litigation, when German courts grant injunctions routinely, when 42 brands have already paid, the option is an illusion. You pay or you're sued. That's the real choice. Second, recognize that standard essential patents are power. Whoever controls connectivity standards controls access to the automotive market. It's not about better technology. It's not about innovation. It's about who wrote the standard and who owns the patents reading on that standard. That power is concentrated in a handful of companies, and they coordinate. Third, Germany's patent courts are the enforcement mechanism. Not the US, not China, Germany, Munich, Mannheim. These courts decide what's fair. These courts issue injunctions. And these courts have consistently sided with patent holders over automakers. If you want to sell connected cars in Europe, you play by German patent rules, or you don't sell. Here's the deeper truth. This is not just about patents. This is about market control. BYD isn't being sued because they stole technology. BYD is being sued because they refuse to accept the price. Avanci's model is brilliant and brutal. Consolidate patents, set one price, make it sound reasonable, then unleash litigation on anyone who says no. The patent holders don't need to win in court. They just need to make fighting more expensive than surrendering. And it works. Ford paid, Daimler paid, Volkswagen paid, GM paid, Mercedes paid, Volvo paid. 42 brands paid, 2 refused. Tesla and BYD. Both are now being crushed. Right now, BYD is staring at a multi-country sales ban. Maybe by Q1 2026, maybe sooner. The German courts move fast. The UPC can ban across 17 countries with one ruling. That's not speculation. That's the timeline. BYD's European expansion, the thing that cut Tesla's market share in half, the thing that brought affordable Chinese EVs to European buyers, could be over by next year. Not because BYD's cars are bad, because BYD wouldn't pay $20. That's pattern recognition. If this showed you how patent pools use litigation as market control, subscribe because the next video will show you the one company that beat Avanci. Tesla lost twice in UK courts, but there's a third automaker, unnamed, unlicensed, that found a loophole Avanci can't close. What did they do that BYD and Tesla didn't? The answers aren't hiding in the future. They're written in the past. Patent Wars has the answers. I'll show you where to look.